Well, we got a centrifuge stand. Sorry, usually I like to fill in what's going on before I leave the shop, so it's not in the middle of my ripping around here, but I was in a bit of a rush, so got her all loaded up. A little heavy on the back. That was 24 or 25? That is 60. That's 62. It's supposed to be 24, and it's 62 is 24.5. So I was off a little bit. 26.5. Write that down in my notes. 26.5 for an extra 2 psi. Like, I don't know. So like I thought, it was wrong. 62 is not 24. I don't know who wrote that. That was already on there when I started hauling this trailer around when I first started here. So that is wrong. Could scissor flat and still be just 5.2 and bring it up a bunch, but what I have 22, 23, 24. I only have 2,000 room there. 26, 25, 24. I will probably be able to adjust, but that's a lot of screwing around. Permit's easier because I don't have to do nothing. We're gonna hit her early in the morning, and we're going to Coal Valley, which is out by Robb, which is highway 47, and then it turns to 40, which is also known as the Trunk. But the directions are to go through Elk River, which is west, Rocky, Sunchild, go to Elk River, cross the Brazeau Dam, Elk River, to the end of the Elk River, which is pretty much 100K of straight gravel. And then a stop sign, we hang a right at stop sign, which will be on the Trunk, be another like 20K or so, I think the directions say, and then it's into the coal mine that's up there, which is really weird. Just at the last, we were out there, which will be, that video will be 2 before this one, I think, yes, 2 or 3 before this one even comes out. I've already been out there. We were on the Elk River on the Owl. We were back in the bush there. We grabbed a couple tanks, and then we took them to the Willow in Hinton. And just as I was going by, I was just telling the swamper, I was like, dude, I was out here, this is like, kind of like one of my first jobs out here as a bed truck operator. Took 2 tanks out to this coal mine and got to go in on the haul road, which made me feel real small because the haul road was huge. There was no activity at the time. I did see a parked like water truck that was like a huge rock truck with a tank in the back. That was pretty cool, but it was in the spring, and I don't think they were just starting operations. It's like whichever you figure with permit. But anyways, back to the shop, and we'll see you guys early in the morning. Maybe we'll get to test out that light bar, but it might be just too late, unfortunately. That'll be a thing. I won't work in the dark now that I put that on. One more day, one more dollar. Just keep going on the grind, right? Look, it's Ray. Ray's coming to work today too. It's hooked up to the 9 axle. You can't see through that window anyways. Small turbo, garbage windows, looks cool, sounds cool. Live hydraulics, that's it. that point too from when we turned back there to stay left.
Maybe I should follow you. We might get lost if you follow me.
It's looking that way.
Hey?
It's kind of looking that way, yeah. I'll wait for you here. He's done being lost up there. Let's check this thing out. This thing's awesome. It's one of them rock truck slash tractors. Oh, it's some chains. Yeah, this thing must be an absolute beast. Yeah, it's a frame of one. Oh, it's got a pencil. It's got the same fifth wheel I got. Wonder what's in that thing for an engine. Probably pretty beefy. Craig River Mine. Never heard of that one. It's not like the Terex one, you can get right in there. Whoa! Detroit. Judging by the size, it's got to be a 16. 2 turbos there. Do you think there's 2 turbos on the other side too? Oh yeah, 4 turbos, V16. Woo. This thing must be an absolute pig. Got a fire extinguisher kit built into it for that just in case. And that thing's awesome. make the hill. That's too bad. I don't know what he's got on. Water tank, he said. I don't know what kind of water tank would be coming to the rig. Doghouse? Oh, just suck that up to the neck. Bush driving. That's pretty heavy. Heavy on the drives myself, but didn't have a problem. But
no worries.
That gray cloud is coming this way. Don't tap out yet. We're gonna take the trunk road. Well, the 730. Is it 734? I do believe it's 734. That cuts across the Nordegg, so that's. I've always called it the trunk, and I thought it was. It's like a part of the trunk, so maybe once we get off back out from the mine here, I'll cut her short and we'll start her up again from where I turned on to the trunk road, or not the, off the Elk River, where the stop sign was, where the back truck was, because that's a pretty cool drive. It's usually pretty smooth sailing. It's a lot smoother 98% of the time when you go that way. Thought we'd get into the mine a little bit more, but no. And this, strangely, same location I went to that I was talking about with the swamper last week, when I was like, dude, I remember my first job at Road Train, because I remember this hill. I did chain up when it came in, but it was winter time, so way back in the day. Probably took me eons to get out here with the old 4 1/4 and a 10 and a 4 bed truck, 330-inch bed truck with my 48-foot lowboy, and my tank sitting at 5.3 high, which is too high for well, you can get around Alberta, but I think I came the same way too. Or no, maybe I didn't. I think I came from Edson that time. You could probably make, if you had good power, you can make it on the pavement probably the same amount of time. It said the way that I went was shorter, and I'm slow and gutless, so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go that way. So I went through the dusty section, which is pretty quiet yet. Once you get past, wasn't too far past Pico there where the owl turnoff is, it got quiet. I think I seen one pickup behind me I let pass, and then I didn't see anybody. Basically 1 or 2 pickups, and then somebody when I got to the trunk there. So he's gonna go down and do some pulling up the hill. I wonder if it's one of Grizzly's truck, because that's Grizzly. His name's Nick. Talked to him a few times. Yeah, so they're out of Eckville. We'll see if definitely gonna get some footage of this action. Oh, here comes the cat. It'd be nice to know what radio channel everybody's on. Nobody has channel. Chinook. I don't know who Chinook is. I've never seen it before again, but Nick was like, they're out of Eckville as well, I think. Never heard of them. Never seen them. But I know he was spotting that shack when I went in there, and I was like looking. I was like, dude, does he have a spare drive shaft hanging there and the line saver, drive line saver? And then I noticed, I was like, oh, it broke off. So he's front wheel drive only. So good thing it's hard, but if that rain comes this way, I don't think it's gonna get any softer by any means, but I don't know. It's not a big drilling rig, so the pumps aren't like crazy. It's just a little tiny guy, so maybe light plants, maybe not. He's probably yelling at me. He's coming back.
Couple more times.
Coming right here. Don't stop there. It's just a purple water truck. Ford! I don't know why you'd bring a Jeep into the bush. As soon as you leave the pavement, Jeep gone. scrapers, and they have like a water tank instead of a bowl. So that's pretty sweet. If this is all you guys got for junk, where's all the junk? I want to see the junk. Loves me junk. Stainless cable. That's probably worth a couple bucks. Huck her on, take her to the scrapyard. Got this Atco shack here from 1972. Oh, they probably got scrapyards down there. And I think that's a frame. Quote me if I'm wrong. It's a pretty small rock truck frame. Oh, that thing's a beast. Doesn't say what's down there or anything. Access to Center Creek Pond. I don't know what that is, but of course mining, they got ponds all over the place for water to do their biz. Right there down in the valley, they probably got it right on the creek when you go down the pavement and around. There's a river down there. This is the haul road right here, and it crosses the highway. See, the grader was grading the opposite side, so maybe they're getting ready to do some haul. Maybe. I've never seen any haulage going on here. Nobody likes calcium. We get that shit, it'll be stuck to the back of everything on the D sign, and all that stuff on the headache rack. Better not rain. Seems like it ran out. He's only doing one side now, so hopefully that's how it's going to be for the rest of the way out, because yeah, I've dealt with this stuff before on the Elk River Road, and I got stuck in the rain, and it was a disaster, even doing like 20 kilometers an hour. Power no. So that kind of sucks, because you can usually haul mud. Oh, here down, it's good. Got lucky by the looks of it.
Yeah, not too bad.
Bad enough. Fuck. I don't know if that shit was calcium. Hopefully not. Seems to come off pretty easy. Under my road train truck, it was just freshly polished, and I ran into a similar thing. And yeah, it was disaster, so. It's down there. I would have had those mud flaps right there. Well, we're back. Back in. Whoa, what's he doing? Is that a trailer to carry his bike? Dropping off all his garbage. So, pretty good. Trunk road is way better than the Elk River. Downfall is that they were laying fresh oil. So, I don't know if there's a different kind of thing they would be putting on there. Because usually, I know on the Elk River, I got caught in a bunch of calcium. With my road train truck that I like to keep fairly polished, and I think I got back to the shop, it was late, and it stayed on the truck for another day, and then I went to the car wash. It was like cement. I like pressure washed at 0.0 range, and it wasn't coming off. The only way to get that off was to polish it off with the power wheel, like the purple wheel, green wheel with the bricks, and I did not enjoy that one bit at all. So this time I was like, I'm going to the car wash immediately, but this stuff seemed to just come off pretty easy. So maybe it was, I don't know what they use out there, but it said fresh oil, and I was like, well, that's kind of odd that they're putting fresh oil on gravel, but technologies change all the time. So it seemed to wipe off pretty easy with my finger, but I'm like, I'm not chancing it. Not that this is a polished beauty by any means, but the back of the headache rack, the stainless up there is pretty decent, so I don't want to have to go through that. So car wash, 1 hour, rinsed off pretty easy, and it looks clean. And then I must have went right down the stack with the fire hose when I was rinsing, because I fired the truck up and I went to go put my boots away because I was wearing my rubbers, and then I threw it in that side of the sleeper, and I was like, it's raining on me. And then I looked at my arm, it's blacked out. I looked up on the cab, and it was just plastered. I was like, and I already moved out of the car wash. So back to the shop, spray 9, some rags, and wiped it off. But it sounds like tomorrow we got a small tank farm we're going to be taking apart. Me and the picker from here doing helping some total action down in Three Hills. So we'll see you tomorrow on that one. Maybe we can get some sweet picker swinging action and clip this thing to the boom. Since I got both cameras, I'll put one on there. But I should have a third for a spare, because if I'm long enough, I'll run out of battery. Stressful. I need another camera. See you guys tomorrow.
Brunch time.
Uma ameaça foi detectada. Uma ameaça foi detectada.